Learn stories of success, avoid struggles they've met. Doctors of all kind come together to help you shine. So sit back, take it in, and integrate what you've been given on a doctor's perspective.net.
Minisode 64. Prepare yourself to learn more about running groups and commissions from the Cash-Based Practice Podcast, episode 61. Now, before we jump in, a little self-promo. You got Christmas money you need to burn? Awesome. You can head over to Amazon. Why? My trilingual coloring books are still there. Of course, mammals, flying, swimming, exotic, Spanish, Chinese, English, all of that is on one page. So you got the animal, you got the 3 languages of the animal's name. You can do flashcard style. They can color. It's for kids. It's coloring books. It's pretty cool. It's a way to challenge them in many different ways with language memorization and how to color. Pick those up. They're at a super duper price. I would recommend the all-in-one version because it's all the animals of 5 other books into one. So it's over 200 pages of cool stuff. Also, if you're into the no needle acupuncture, aka acupressure, and you want to get that book along with the electric acupuncture pin, I would visit a doctorsperspective.net/NAB, and you can find that at a great price and a bundle price. It's also on Amazon. But today, so this episode, they were talking about how to get more involved and make running groups and those types of things beneficial to your clinic. Because you can go and you can spend time, you can give talks, you can approach these running groups in your community and say, hey, I can give you a talk on how to prevent ankle sprains or shin splints, make sure your head's up, running position, you can evaluate their gait, all of that. But another option, because that takes so much time, is you can sponsor the group itself, right? And that's helpful. But you could also sponsor certain athletes. If you know that Jane is amazing, well, maybe she deserves some free treatment and 20% off some logo, something like that. So when she wins the race, boom, your logo is on her shirt. You can have a couple tiers, like second tier could be more like just 20% off. And maybe you get, of course, a hat along with that, but you don't get free treatment. You just get a percentage off. Third tier could be maybe just 15% off treatment, but you also get some free swag. And that could be really helpful. So it becomes ambassadors for your clinic. And then you look good and these people are actually winning. So, it's not just Jack who barely finishes the 10K. No, these people are running marathons. They're coming out in the top 5, top 6. And so they're going to get pictures taken. And, maybe you look into triathlete jerseys or runner jerseys. I found some places you can really design the whole thing. Like you probably go on Fiverr and have an entire mock-up of, the pretty colors, the cool design with your logo and your information on it. Like that would be top notch. And like you're getting quality of stuff, but it's going to be more expensive, of course, than just getting some dry fit gear with your name and stuff on it. So that's something to consider. Just Google, triathlete outfits for customization, and you'll see some companies pop up. Like I said, it's much more work, much more money involved in doing that. But obviously, if you do it right, then that really is some sweet swag to give away. And if you know that you've been a part of some group, maybe it's a CrossFit group, maybe it's a triathlete group, and you've been a part of it for a while, then you know how many you should order. And then it becomes, look, I want to sponsor the whole team. So I need to know how many mediums and larges and smalls I need to build and purchase for the whole group. So that might be an option as well. And I think that's a pretty cool option if you're really into that scene anyway. That could probably work, I don't know, for youth football, at least when I grew up. A-Bears is a store. Well, A-Bears was written on the t-shirt that you got, and your number and name was on the back. And of course, I guess probably the parents paid for it inadvertently, but maybe you can sponsor a football team. Their jerseys have, or their helmet has a sticker with your stuff on it. So something like that. Okay, next. Just briefly, they talked about commissions, and then the way they figured that out is you got to look around and call around and find out what the hourly rate for lots of different staff are, whether you're doing physical therapy or the physical therapy techs, receptionists, insurance billing, what kind of benefits do they have? And take all that into consideration when you're trying to hire your own people for salary versus commission. So you could say, maybe this is only worth $12 an hour to do this work, but when we actually have patients, you're busier, you're switching from, say, just being covering reception work to now you're also doing showing them some basic rehab exercises. In a chiropractic clinic, you don't have to have a physical therapist. You can get a tech, maybe a personal trainer or athletic trainer. But maybe you can hire somebody who's like, look, you'll make $12 an hour answering the phone, doing the things like that. But when we're actually have you small groups and actually really working hard with what your training is in, then you get a higher rate per that hour, or you get based on a commission. So maybe these people make $19 an hour when they're doing a personal training session or have a groups class or something like that. But you only are doing that 6 hours a week. So during those 6 hours, you're like, okay, well, how do I get them back up to that 19? And you just say, okay, when you're doing that, here's another $5 raise. Or if you can get X amount of people, you'll make a percentage of the fee that we charge extra for that. So that way they are compensated more when they're doing more complicated work. So some things to consider there. You also might check out Josh Satterley and his group, Clinic Gym Hybrid, if you're really looking into doing like small groups and those types of things. I just wanted to sprinkle some of that into this episode. I'm not an expert in this part, but just some of the advice that was on this show. So take it for what it's worth. If you need more information, like I said, check out Dr. Josh and his group. Okay, show notes, transcript. You can find that at adoctorsperspective.net/M64. Make 2021 your best year yet.